Hey y'all, thanks for joining me. I've got a great update for you regarding the E65 Motorway in Greece. The timeline for that, okay? I have just found that out this morning, and I'm going to share that with you. But first, I need to give you some context about this. So I'm going to give you a clip from one of my previous videos on this particular issue, and then some other information, articles, and such. So here we go. And I think you'll find this very interesting that both, it took over 17 years, nearly 20, for this E65 road to get to the point of completion that it's at now. So that's a long time, right? 20 some years, or 17 to 20 years. And then you had the water, territorial waters, it was a 30-year time span. At the same time, this is the same kind of parallel to what happened with Russia. It took Russia about 30 years from the fall of the Soviet Union. They were very weak for many decades, and they just now have begun to strengthen. And it's interesting that both Greece and Russia strengthened their countries' defenses and their military within the same time period. And that time period, the elders call in Greece, where it had this road waiting to be built. They had all these hurdles, construction issues, the 2008 financial crash, the weather issues. There were all these reasons why they could not work on that road. And like I said, the fear from a Turkish attack regarding the nautical miles. And you'll notice that all of this took this long for them to gain strength, as well as Russia. And there's no coincidence to that. They call that the curtain of mercy, that the saints, elders prayed to hold off these attacks on Greece, and then to a certain extent Russia at the same time, because they're both Orthodox countries, that God was giving mercy and through the prayers of the saints, that this did not come forth for 30 years to give them time to be ready for this world war. Their particular involvement in that, respectively, each one in a different way, obviously. I found that very fascinating. So you got the update there, or the understanding there of what we're talking about with the E65 road. I'm going to give you the news information on what it was originally set for and what has changed, okay? So back in March 3rd, 2026, the latest then was that, now, they had said originally in September that it would be the second quarter of 2026 when this would be complete, this motorway. So between April and June. Most of people were saying it was probably going to be late June, all right? Because there was 93% was now completed. That was in the northern section, because the southern, I think, was already done. Yes, the southern's already done, so they're just waiting on the northern, as I showed you in that other video on the map. So at that time, it was 93% done. As you remember, as you recall in my previous video, there's 46 kilometers left. And so the southern section was done, the spine of Greece, as it's called, and you had that small area to finish up in the north. So this is what was said in March, okay? The newest information I got this morning was that we have a new date. The most immediately significant development is the expected opening in July of the northern section of the Central Greece Motorway E65, covering 45 kilometers between Kalambaka and Grevena. So there is that, they're saying the 45 kilometers, but there you go. There is what will be the rest of, as I understand it, of this road. Now, they don't give us a time in July, okay? It's just opening in July, which they said it would be mid-year. This July is pretty much mid-year. So it's no longer, that quarter of April, the second quarter of April to June. It is sometime in July. And this just shows you exactly how we can push, through prayers, we can push back terrible events, prophetic events. We can alter it a little bit. And this is just showing more mercy, I think, to us. So we should be happy about that. Although it's only a few weeks difference, really. A month's difference, maybe. Anyway, let's just remember that. And I want to also remind you of the prophecy of this from Father Panagiotis, okay? He said, George, then, this guy asked him when the war would take place. And now they're talking about not only World War III, but they're basically talking about what's going to happen in between Turkey and Greece, okay? So it says, George, the war will break out when the new road connecting Domaku and Lamia is completed. And that's the E65, as we talked about. Okay, the one that we've been centering on, we've been focusing on this whole time. And so that final, as they called it, the final 45 kilometers that's going to be done supposedly in July. We are at 93%, as everyone knows. So by then, it should be 100%. We will see. It shows you that the curtain of mercy, as they called it, is still there, that protection veil. It has not completely gone down. It also shows you that it's the typical of what's been happening with this road. 17 plus years they've been trying to finish this. Again, it's been stalled a bit. And we can look at that as, spiritually, as the mercy of God. And, let's continue to pray for God, that God lessens what's to come. And I wanted to share that with you because I just found it out and I thought it was really important for you all to know. I know it's just like a month's difference, really, from the second quarter timeline. However, construction does this, work like this, but really important story I wanted to share with you. Thanks so much for watching, for following my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like my videos if you like them. Share them if you think they're worth sharing, if there's information that's important to you that you'd like to share with your loved ones. And then if you'd like, you can become a member of my channel. And there's 3 tiers for that. The light a candle tier for $2.99, the coffee hour Java tier, that is $4.99, and then there's the research rudder, which is $8.99. And if you are not able to commit monthly to supporting me, if you're really wanting to support me, then there's a sporadic way to do that randomly through my buy me a cup of coffee, and the link is in the description. And so thanks so much to all my members, to all my subscribers, to everyone, all my viewers, for your interest in my videos, for your wonderful discussions, your thoughtful posts, your support, and all of all that, because without you, I would not be anywhere on this channel. So thanks so much. I hope you have a blessed day, evening, night, wherever you are when you see this.